Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
Hello dear students, welcome to another lecture. In this class, we are going to continue with Unit 14 of Class 12 Education Nagaland Board, which is the measures of central tendency. Now, in the previous video, we discussed about how to calculate mean or the arithmetic mean in case of an ungrouped data, which is also known as individual series. Today, in this class, we shall learn about how to calculate the mean in case of a discrete series. Now, what is the difference between an individual series and the discrete series? Discrete series introduces to us the concept of frequencies. What do we mean by frequency? The number of times an observation is repeated. Let's say there were 5 students in the class and we know the marks that each of those students scored. That is my X, the observation that I am given with it, the marks of the 5 students. If alongside the marks, I am also supplied with the frequency, that means how many times did the child get the same marks? That is going to be my frequency. So the number of times the observation gets repeated, that is known as a frequency. And how do we represent a frequency symbolically? It is F, which refers to frequency. And how do we calculate mean? This or this, whatever the case may be, it is sum of F into X divided by sum of F. That means now you are going to multiply each of your frequencies with the observation corresponding to it, calculate their sum, and then also calculate the total number of frequencies, that is the sum of frequencies, and divide them. This will give you the arithmetic mean in a discrete series. For example, this is the data given to you. Okay, let me take another question for you, another sample for you. Let's say now we are talking about the discrete series. And the first one is the direct method of calculating mean, right? What is my formula for calculating the mean by direct method? Fx divided by sum of x. This is my formula. Correct? Now let us look at a question. I am supposingly given with the marks of the students. Let's say 10, 15, 20, 25 and 30. Along with the marks, I have the frequency or the number of times the child has got these marks. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 2, 5. This was the frequency. According to my formula for calculating this mean by direct method, I will have to multiply these both, the marks with the frequency. So 10 into 1 gives me 10. 30, 60, 50 and 150. Now what is the formula? Dear students, this is one piece of advice, a trick that I would like to share with you. Whenever you get a question on mean, median, mode, after you have identified what type of a series it is and what method do you want to apply in calculating the mean or the median or the mode, write the formula alongside, so that after you've written the formula, you know what all things you need to calculate. Okay. So what do I need to calculate? F into X divided by F. Fx, let's summarize them. This is what it wants. Sum of Fx. So 150, 50 is 200, 260, 290 and 300. Also, what do I need? I have my sum of fx, which is 300. Now I need the sum of my frequencies, which is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So after I divide these two numbers and whatever sum, whatever number, whatever answer I am going to get on dividing 300 by 13, which is going to be somewhere around 23.08. So this is your average marks. Got it? So the first method of calculating mean in case of a discrete series is the direct method, and this is the formula for calculating mean for the direct method. The next that we know after the direct method comes the assumed mean method. Yes. Now, from the previous information, there are a few things that I know. That assumed mean has to be chosen from x. From x, I am going to choose my assumed mean. I know this first thing, which is clear to me. Second, what is d? What is the deviation? X minus a. Clear? So now, what is the formula for calculating mean by using the assumed mean method? A plus sum of ft upon sum of f. This is your assumed mean method. So this is how you're going to calculate your assumed mean. Let us look at an example again. Let me take the same example of the marks. So I know the marks of the students 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. How many times? What was the frequency at which the marks was scored? If I'm not wrong, I believe this was the frequency I took in the previous question also. Now, according to the assumed mean method, what do I need? I need my D. And what is D? X minus A. This is my X. I'm going to take 1A. I'm going to assume a number as the assumed mean out of this. So let me take 20 as my assumed mean. Now calculate X minus A. 10 minus 20 gives me minus 10. 15 minus 20 gives me minus 5. 20 minus 20 gives me 0. 25 minus 20 gives me 5. And 30 minus 20 gives me 10. I have got my D. According to the formula, what is the next thing that I need? That is F into D. Correct? Now let's calculate that. So F 1 into minus 10 is minus 10. 5 into minus 10. 3 into 0 is 0. 10 and 50. I need the sum of assumed mean because that is what my formula was. My formula was A plus the sum of FT upon the sum of F. Assumed mean was 20. Let me calculate the sum of FT. 50, 60 minus 20 is 40. So this is 40. Upon the sum of F, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13. So if I calculate this number, which is going to be somewhere 0.8. So my mean or my average marks according to the assumed mean method comes out to be 23.08. So this is the formula and the method of calculating the assumed mean. And next we have the step deviation method for the discrete series again. We know how to calculate D. It is x minus a. We also know how to calculate D dash, which is x minus a upon c, which is the common factor. So what is the formula for calculating the average mean of a discrete series according to the step deviation method? It is a plus sum of f t dash upon sum of f into c. So this is my formula. Let us solve a question again. Marks 10, 15, 20, 25 and 30. The frequency was 1, 2, 3, 2 and 5. D was x minus a. What was my a? 20 was my a. So minus 10, minus 5, 0, 5 and 10. Now comes my D dash. What is my D dash? X minus a divided by c. Now looking at the marks, the data that is given to you, what number do you think I should take as the common factor? You see there is a gap of 5 between all the numbers, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. The difference is 5, so I'll take C, the common factor, to be 5. So minus 10 divided by 5 is minus 2, minus 5 divided by 5 is minus 1, 0, 1 and 2. Next I need f d dash. So f, that is 1 divided by multiplied by d dash, minus 2, 0, 2 and 10. Okay. Now let us calculate the mean and apply the formula. So my formula was a plus sum of f t dash upon sum of f into c. A, the assumed mean is 20. I need this sum. So 10 plus 2 is 12. 12 minus 4 is 8. So 8 upon this is 13 into 5. So we have to calculate it. So 20 plus 5 8s are 40 divided by 13. And again, as we have seen, we get the same number that you got above. See? 20 plus 40 divided by 13. So 40 divided by 13 was coming out to be 3.08. So the answer is 23.08. So this, my dear students, was how we calculated arithmetic mean in case of a discrete series where we were introduced with the term frequency. Let us look at your book now. The same thing has been told in your book. You see, this is your x, 100, 200, 300. This is your frequency which is given to you. If we calculated by direct method, what was it? Fx divided by sum of f. So 100 into 200, 20,000. 50 into 200, 10,000. 300 into 10, 3,000. So sum of f 33,000 divided by sum of f 260 was how I used my direct method. And they have calculated it using the step deviation method also, and we know how to calculate the D. They've not calculated D. I will calculate here so that it is clear to you. D, they have assumed the mean to be, just a second. Yes, so they've assumed mean that they have taken is 300. Okay. So 100 minus 300 is 200. Yes, they've taken the assumed mean to be 200. So 100 minus 200 divided by 100. So 100 minus 200 is 100 minus 100. 200 minus 200 is 0 and 300 minus 200 is 100. Now calculating D dash, they divided it by 100 because that was the common factor that they took. They got minus 1, 0 and 1. Then they multiplied D dash with F. So 200 into minus 1 is 2 minus 200, 50 into 0 is 0 and 10 into 1 is 10. The sum that they got was minus 190. They applied it in the formula and they got the answer. Okay, so this is the formula for calculating the step deviation, calculating the mean using the step deviation method. So we know how to deal with an individual series, we know how to deal with a discrete series.